Every cruise port visit comes down to one decision: how you're planning your shore excursions. Most people open the cruise line app, scroll through what's available, and book. That works, but it usually means 40 people on a bus, 4 more buses all going to the same place, all heading to the same overlook. Some of our very best memories are from shore excursions we booked on our own. We're going to show you how. 6 steps, 6 platforms, every protection layer, every decision in the order you actually need it.
Hi, I'm Doug, this is Leah, and we're Go Travel Life.
Before we get into it, a quick note that we always lead with on videos like this.
We're not sponsored by any of the platforms that we're going to walk you through today.
We don't receive affiliate commissions, referral fees, or any form of compensation if you use them. We use some of these ourselves, and we have had some strong experiences.
And we've had some frustrating ones too.
And you're getting the honest version of both. Also, programs change, offerings change, so always be sure to check the exact terms and conditions for any of these programs.
The goal here is always the same: details, not drama.
You're going to walk away from this video with a framework that you can use on just about any port anywhere in the world. So let's get started with step 1. Step 1, and this sounds obvious until it isn't.
Know exactly where your ship is docking, and we mean exactly.
Your itinerary will say something like Rome, Civitavecchia. That parenthetical is doing a lot of work. You are docking in Civitavecchia.
And that's 75 kilometers outside of the city center of Rome.
Roughly a 90-minute train ride each direction under normal circumstances. This is consistent across itineraries. Athens, Piraeus. Piraeus is the port.
The Acropolis is 30-minute metro ride on a good day.
Florence is Livorno. You're in Livorno.
Florence is about an hour and a half by train.
The parenthetical is the port. The city name is always a destination. They are different places. And by the way, some cities have multiple cruise ports, so know which one specifically. We'll give you some tips on this shortly.
The actual distance determines everything downstream.
Your realistic activity window, whether certain excursions are even feasible within your timeline, and whether you need a transfer built into your plan before you book a single thing. So when you're looking at the itinerary stop, just make sure you know the location of the port.
This is step 1.
Step 2, know your dates, your day of the week, and your exact arrival and departure times. And the day of the week matters a lot more than people think.
Yeah, we were in South America on a Sunday.
We had planned around a specific historical site, closed on Sundays, and certain national or religious holidays will shut down museums, historical attractions, markets, and public services in ways that don't surface in standard tourism searches.
And your arrival and departure times define the actual working window.
If your ship's arrived at 7 a.m. and departs at 1, that's 6 hours on paper, but many restaurants don't open till 9, museums don't open till 9:30 or so. You've got the port clearance and then the initial pier movement. It just eats time on both ends.
Yeah, the real window could be more like 4 hours.
Yeah. On the other hand, if you have an all-day port, we love these, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., the math changes entirely. You can run a morning excursion, return to the ship for lunch, and go back out.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize you can do that.
You usually can. Bottom line, write down the actual port times. Build your planning backward from all aboard, not from the listed departure as a reference. All aboard is about an hour, minimum 30 minutes we've seen from departure time. It all depends on the cruise line and the passenger count.
Yeah, we'll tell exactly why in step 5.
Step 3. Is your ship docking pierside, meaning a gangway directly to land, or is it tendering? Some call it water shuttle or at anchor. If you're unfamiliar with tendering, it's when the ship anchors offshore and small boats shuttle passengers to land.
Yeah, you wait for the tender, you load, you cross to the pier, you do your port day, and then you do the same thing in reverse when you get back.
No gangway, and that process adds real time to both ends of your day. Depending on the ship size, passenger volume, and how the tender operation is running, you can lose 30 to 60 minutes in each direction.
Yeah, on a full ship with a busy tender port, it can be way more.
Large ships typically dock pierside in most ports, but there are exceptions that catch people consistently.
Yeah, Cabo San Lucas in Mexico was always a tender port.
Regardless of ship size. Certain Alaskan ports, several smaller Mediterranean ports, always verify. The assumption that a large ship always docks is a costly one. Some cruise lines will have an anchor badge next to a specific port. Princess states water shuttle at sea or water shuttle in use, etc.
Yeah, watch for that indicator by port of call.
And if you're in a tender port without priority tender access, suite level guests, certain loyalty tiers have it, a cruise line excursion may be worth it for that port specifically because it gets you on one of the earlier tender waves. An independent excursion that starts in 30 minutes while you're still waiting in a tender queue is an anxiety-laden situation.
Yeah, stay with us on that. We'll be back to that in step number 5.
Step 4. You know your dock location, you know your day of week, your port times, and whether you're tendering.
And now you research the port itself before you book a single tour.
And the resource we come back to consistently for this is what'sinport.com. It's not the prettiest site, and it has some annoying pop-ups, but it consistently gives us the specific information that we need. It's a cruise-specific resource, and it gives you information that a standard travel search usually doesn't surface.
Yeah, the distance from the pier to the town center.
Currency and exchange guidance, transportation options from the dock.
How many ports exist here?
Ding, ding, ding. If there's more than one, it usually has some great insights as to who docks where, but always confirm it with your cruise line. Also, there's sometimes important safety commentary. So here's a real-world example. We were heading into Recife, Brazil.
Yeah, what's in port flagged there was a pickpocket situation.
So we were sure to be extra cautious. We used our phone tethers, etc. that day. That difference matters for how you plan and how you feel.
And on the other end of the spectrum, in the Great Barrier Reef,
What's in port helped us understand was that Yorkeys Knob was a tender-only port. Our research then led to the distance from the tender port out to the reef was a couple hours. The cruise ship excursions indicated that their tour operators would pick us up directly from the ship while at anchor, saving a significant amount of logistical time.
yeah, the decision made to book with the cruise line.
Yeah. What's in port also services transport complexity. Some ports, taxi 15 minutes into town, very straightforward. Others involve multiple connections, private arrangements, or even infrastructure conditions that make independent navigation difficult, especially under time pressure. What's in port gives you that intelligence before you commit to anything.
Yeah, this is step 4. Do it before you open a single booking platform.
Step 5. You now have your exact port, your day, your times, your tender status, and your on-the-ground intelligence.
The rule we apply to every single booking, no exceptions.
For dock ports, we schedule our excursion start time a minimum of 90 minutes after the ship's scheduled arrival and port clearance, and we book excursions that end a minimum of 2 hours before all aboard. For tender ports, we extend that arrival buffer to 2 hours before we start anything.
Unless we're cruising on a line that we have priority tender access.
Yeah. So here's where the departure buffer matters beyond the obvious. Several of the platforms are about to walk you through offer a back-to-ship guarantee, meaning if your excursion runs late and you miss the ship, they cover your hotel, transportation, and cost to reach the next port.
This is decent protection for sure.
But those guarantees have conditions.
Of course they do.
Some platforms require that your excursion was scheduled to end at least 2 hours before all aboard to qualify the coverage. If you book a tour that ends 90 minutes before departure, you may be outside the guarantee window, even on a platform that offers that protection.
Yeah, build that buffer in.
Ports will still be worth your time with an hour off each end. Missing the ship, that's a different category of problem. So, you've confirmed your exact dock. You know your day of week, you know your port windows, you know whether you're docking or tendering. You've done your what's in port research, and you've set your timing parameters.
You've booked the cruise line excursions that needed to be booked through them.
Now, you're ready to finally find something to do outside the cruise line offerings.
The platform you choose matters.
Each one has a different relationship with cruise travel, different guarantees, structures, and different pricing logic. We're going to walk you through 6 of them. There's a lot more, but these are the 6 that are kind of the most common, and we're going to rank them on 5 key variables. For each one, the case for it, and what to watch for.
First up, shoreexcursionsgroup.com.
ShoreExcursionsGroup.com. This is a cruise-built platform. You input your cruise line, ship, and sail date, and your itinerary populates automatically.
Select the port day that you're planning.
It's as seamless as it gets. Back-to-ship guarantee is in place. Missed port triggers a refund. The cancellation window is 14 days.
Yeah, one of the wider windows in this group.
Full payment is due at booking, so the money leaves your account on day 1. And one detail worth knowing, there's an optional excursion protection plan available as an add-on that covers flight delays, traffic situations, sudden personal illness. If those are real variables in your travel life, look at them before you confirm.
And group size here usually averages 12 people.
That's a wonderful difference from a full cruise line bus. If the small group experience matters to you and how you travel, this platform is built for that.
Venture Ashore, also cruise built.
Back-to-ship guarantee is there, and their missed port policy is one of the cleanest we found in this review. Don't port, don't pay. The sailing skips the stop, your money comes back.
Cancellation window is 7 days.
Payment split 50-50, so half at the booking and the remaining balance is auto-charged at 120 days prior to sailing. That charge is automatic. That's 4 months prior. Yikes. Set a calendar reminder at day 125 and confirm your card on file is correct.
2 other things worth flagging.
Venture Ashore will build custom tours on request, and if you're coordinating a group of 20, the leader spot is usually complimentary.
Yeah, group size is typically 10 to 25 people.
This is a smaller operation, which means fewer ports covered than the larger platforms. If your itinerary runs off the well-beaten path, check the coverage port before you invest time here.
Project Expedition. Cruise built, back to the ship guarantee in place.
Missed port qualifies for a full refund, but there is one critical action that falls on you that was highlighted in their terms and conditions quite clearly, so we thought we better call it out here. If the ship skips a port, you have to proactively notify them. The refund process does not trigger automatically. That detail is on the slide because it's exactly the kind of thing that gets missed in the moment.
Cancellation window is 3 days.
One of the most generous in this group. Full payment is due at booking. One piece of flexibility, you can split payments across multiple credit cards if you're traveling with a group.
When you're on the platform, look for the guarantee badge on the cruise tour listing.
And build a 2-hour buffer before your all aboard time. On pricing, we found Project Expedition runs a bit more reasonable compared to several of the other platforms in this comparison. It's worth knowing the site was originally built for travel advisors before it opened to the public.
Yeah, the practical effect is a smaller review base.
The tours are there. The volume of traveler feedback you'll see on the larger platforms is still catching up. ToursByLocals operates on a different model than everything else on this chart, and the structure is worth understanding before you look at the numbers.
Yeah, these are private, customizable tours in a flat group pricing.
So don't panic when you see the price. You book a tour for 4 people, that's your tour. One guide, one group only. The all-in cost might be around $1,000 for 4, but that's your private experience from start to finish.
Yeah, no shared bus, no strangers on your itinerary.
You also connect with your guide in advance before you're standing at the pier. That's actual customization, not just choosing from a preset menu.
Cruise built, back to the ship guarantee.
Missed port is covered, but the specific trigger is selecting the shore excursion category at booking. Confirm that's what you've selected. Cancellation windows vary by tour, but we saw about 7 days as typical.
Yeah, payment is a deposit up front with the full balance due 30 days prior.
One logistics note, confirm pier access with the guide before you book. Some ports have access restrictions in place, and that affects where and how you can meet. Also, they have a cancel for any reason add-on here as well, and given the variable cancellation window, it's probably a smart choice. The refund comes back as a store credit after you purchase that, which is valid for 1 year, not cash. Just know that going in.
Yeah, and Tours by Local isn't only cruise only.
This is a strong option for land itineraries where a private guide adds value.
Get Your Guide, cruise built, back to the ship guarantee.
Missed port coverage varies by operator, so that's a variable to verify at the tour level, not the platform level. Payment terms here are among the most flexible in this group.
Nothing is due until 72 hours before your tour.
Cancellation window is 24 hours. That's about as close to low commitment planning as this category gets.
Group size for Get Your Guide is around 10 people.
The platform carries a smaller global footprint as well than some of the others here, so fewer ports are represented. Check into that before you do that. Search tip for this platform, identify your location first, then search for shore excursions to be sure you choose excursions which are eligible for the back to ship guarantee.
Yeah, the filter does the work.
Also be sure to note tour start and stop locations, as they may not be able to access the port directly either.
Next up, Viator, owned by TripAdvisor. Last platform on the chart, Viator.
Largest global inventory in this category, and the brand most travelers already recognize. There is not a back to ship guarantee. Cancellation window is 24 hours, and payment isn't due until 2 to 3 days before.
Some of the most flexible terms in this comparison.
Missed port coverage is operator dependent. That means you're confirming that policy at the tour level every time, not assuming the platform covers it uniformly. They do offer a chat with tour operator after you book, and I use this to confirm the missed port policy.
The platform scale is a real asset.
But it comes with complexity. The same operator can list the same tour under multiple titles at multiple price points. Before you book, check the offered by field and confirm you know who the actual operator is, not just the listing name. The search sequence matters here too.
Start with the location, then filter on shore excursions.
That order surfaces the most relevant results.
Viator rewards careful reading.
The inventory is there, the reviews are there, and the terms are flexible. One other feature we like about Viator is building rewards. For every tour you take, you earn credits toward your next.
Yeah, those build up quickly on longer cruises.
2 honorable mentions before we close.
First, ResortPass.
This is a different category from everything else on this list, and we want to be clear about what it is. It's a platform that lets you book day passes to resort pools, beach clubs, and spa facilities without staying at a hotel by the day.
Here's one example. Our grandkids sailed with us on the NCL Aqua.
And the ship's pool situation for a group of kids who had been counting on a full pool day was smaller than expected. A resort day pass to a property with a kind of pool that they were envisioning would have been the right call. That's what ResortPass does. It works particularly well in Caribbean and Mexican ports where resort infrastructure is strong.
Yeah, worth knowing even if you never use it.
Because the one time you need it, you'll be glad you remembered it existed. Second, Klook.
Klook is a platform with particularly strong depth in Japan and Asia.
We've sailed into Japanese ports multiple times, and they had excellent offerings.
Klook consistently had better inventory, more local operator detail,
and more Japan-specific experience options than the larger Western platform. So if you're planning an Asia-based cruise or land section, we would run Klook in parallel with Viator on every search. The inventory overlap is not complete. There were experiences on Klook we did not find elsewhere. So that is our system, and here's an overview. 6 steps, 6 platforms, and how they compare. 2 honorable mentions, and a process that has worked for us across more than 175 port days. We've also put together a decision framework for you to consider so you can vet out what is most important to you.
If what's most important is back-to-ship guarantee or a refund for missed ports,
then the 3 cruise build options of Shore Excursions Group, Venture Ashore, or Project Expedition are really good choices.
if cancellation and friendly payment terms are most important,
Then GetYourGuide and Viator take the win.
if you're doing a combination land and sea travel,
We feel ToursByLocals might be the easier approach.
and lastly, quick framework recap for anyone who wants to screenshot it.
Step 1, know your exact dock, not the listed city name. Step 2, confirm your dates, day of week, and arrival to departure windows. Step 3, docking or tendering, and what that means for your timeline. Step 4, what's in port.com before you book anything. Step 5, 90 minutes in, 2 hours out, 2 hours for tender ports. Step 6, the right platform for your port situation. If you've had a strong experience with a platform we didn't cover,
Or a cautionary story about one that we did,
or if we got something wrong, put it in the comments. We read every single one, and your experience helps everyone planning a sailing in our community. If this is the kind of detailed, no sponsor, no fluff breakdown is what you're here for, give us a subscribe. There's more coming.
details not drama.
Thanks for watching.